Sis and Tell. Sis and Tell. A whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. Sis and Tell. Amanda to stand up and Alison's on TV. When they hop on the phone, yeah, you know it's the place you wanna be. Sis and Tell.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I've been better.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. What happened?
So, I'm reluctant to tell you the story for many reasons. The first of them being that it starts with Orange Theory. And I know you don't like my Orange Theory stories.
I'm so sick of Orange Theory.
I know, but this is what happened. So,
you fall off a treadmill?
I fell off the rower.
Wait, you are so low to the ground on a rower. How in the world did you fall off a rower?
So here's what happened. Now we'll start from the beginning. So Tuesday of this week was one of our benchmarks. So benchmarks are just challenges, and you try to get a PR, a personal record or what have you. So Tuesday was the shortest benchmark we ever have. It's a 200-meter row. So to give you a sense, like my PR is 35 seconds. Okay, so it's half a minute. It's half a minute of your day. So you can go all out. So I haven't beaten that PR in a couple years probably. So I started, which is what I typically do, is I start Googling how, what do the coaches suggest in terms of maximizing your time on the tread, the rower, whatever you're doing. So I find a bunch of videos telling me how I should be rowing. So typically you're doing very long strokes, and the reason I'm decent on the rower is because I'm so tall, and so my legs give me a lot of power. So it is my best sport within the Orange Theory context. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to beat this PR. This is my determination. So they tell me to row not the long strokes that we're used to, but short, powerful strokes, which makes total sense. They being the coaching gods, the coaching gurus out on the video world. Yes.
Google.
Yes. So I'm all set and I'm there. I strap in. Luckily, I'm strapped in, and I am going faster than I normally go because my strokes are shorter than they typically are. And I'm going and I'm going and I'm going, and with 30 meters to spare, my seat goes flying forward, my body goes flying backwards. I think I don't know. I don't understand the physics of it. I think it was just the momentum of everything just got flip-flopped, and I fell onto the rails that the seat usually is sliding on. And I knew immediately, number one, I was in pain immediately, but number two, that I would have some really audacious bruises to show for, because I bruise pretty easily in, under normal circumstances.
At least you're not a boy. Can you imagine if you had a little package down there?
Yeah,
that happened to?
But it to be fair, it didn't hit on the inside of my thighs or anything. It was literally the outside of my rear end. And if we weren't, I really, it's so funny. My friend's like, it's one of those things you want to send people a picture of it. I go, I do, but I don't, because I'm smart enough not to. But it's as purple as you can imagine. And it's not a round bruise. It is a line down one side and the other, exactly where I hit the rails. Oh, yeah. I screamed. Well, because, of course, Alan's like, well, probably nobody noticed unless you screamed. I said, well, of course I screamed because I fell off the rower. And I was so mad because I was really going fast. But not
Did
that I would have.
Did you beat your personal record?
Well, I don't know, because then then the clock just kept going. And I was more mad about not figuring out if I beat it than getting myself hurt. And then once I figured out that was in the past, then I was upset that I got hurt. Then my rear was bruised, but also my ego, admittedly, was a little bruised. And my friend Katie's the other one who really noticed, because I screamed, she screamed. I think I screwed up her time too. I did have a couple more times to try it, but by then by the time I got back on the road 20 minutes later, I was very gun shy. I mean, I was very, my other friend was like, I see you're very hesitant. Oh,
yeah.
So I did go back to Orange Theory today, and it felt okay. I feel like I need a pad or something, but it was very embarrassing.
Sit back on the rowing machine? Did you do rowing today?
No, there was no rowing today. Thank goodness.
Thank God. Well, this reminds me of when we were little and used to go to roller skating parties.
Yeah.
And falling, and you'd fallen away where you'd fall on your roller skate. Did you ever do that?
Oh, on the wheel.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Is like the way you would fall, like with your leg behind you, and your butt would fall on top of the wheels, It's
bad. It's bad. I can picture that.
Is it that sort of pain?
It's that sort of pain. That's the equivalent, because you're falling on something hard that isn't meant to be sat on, especially not with a thrust. Imagine, right, the momentum you have when you're falling on roller skates. That's the momentum I had falling. And even though I only fell really a few inches, because I just fell off the seat, but so hard. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I kind of need a cushion right now. It's
I need some frozen peas.
The only good thing is there's a Facebook, of course, page, a general page for Orange Theory. And so somebody posted yesterday, anyone else fall off the rower today? And there were tons of comments.
It's a thing that happens.
It happens, and I have a community of people who have done the same thing. So I'm not alone, as all things in life. And specifically Orange Theory, I am not alone. So all I had to do was go on social media to feel a little bit better about my mishap. And as Alan said, stop doing the fast and short rowing. Go back to the long.
That's not even how you're supposed to do it.
Well, for a 200 meter, I'll leave it there. It is how you're supposed to do it. It wasn't. I didn't do it.
As someone who worked out for a year and a half. Actually, I hated that rowing machine, but Daddy used to have it. And we used to have all sorts of random exercise equipment in our house, including a rowing machine, the stationary bike with a giant wind fan, the fan at the front of it.
Yes. The Aerodyne. It's an Aerodyne bike.
Yes. And then it's because Nana, our grandmother, used to also have the stationary bike. And she would ride up until she was in her 90s. She would get on that thing 20 minutes a day and ride it. And it was, do you remember which room in her house it was?
In the doll room?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like
the scary room.
That it is the scary. Let us paint a picture for you. This is a regular square room that is lined in shelves that contain 300 dolls.
A lot of dolls.
Ranging from Madame Alexander
to Pee Wee Herman.
To Pee Wee Herman. They're all staring back at you. So can you imagine exercising in there? Do you think at any point she would chit-chat with the dolls while she's exercising, pretending like they're cheering her on?
I will say some of my most vivid memories of being with Nana were involved going to doll shows at the Botanical Gardens. I don't know if she ever took you.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, they had these doll shows. And we would go, and she would explain, which one was more valuable. She's the one who taught me that if you don't keep the box, specifically for a Madame Alexander doll, for instance, which she helped us collect, then their value is lost because, you need everything in its integrity. So I did enjoy learning about that. And they weren't, in that context, they weren't creepy. But yeah, the creepy doll room with all the shelves, she did love them. I mean, she loved these dolls. I think it's because by profession she was a nurse. So she had a nurturing part of her anyway. And she really looked at those dolls as sort of her other children. She had 3 children. But as something to
creepy.
Take care of. It's getting creepier as we talk about it, maybe.
I don't know. Do you know that there are grown women who do they make lifelike baby dolls?
You mean,
and then they get together.
They look like babies.
They look like babies. Oof. I'm sorry. They're dolls, but they look like babies. They make lifelike babies. They do. They look real. There are all these TikTok videos of people
and then they
to
get together and have play group. I don't understand.
Imagine the American Girl doll diner or cafe with all
Okay.
those like 4-year-olds and their dolls.
Yeah.
But add like a 0 to the end. So these are like 40-year-old women, 60-year-old women with these dolls that look like real babe. They look super real because they're these TikTok videos. It looks like someone's manhandling an actual newborn, and then they take the head off and
Oh,
they're
no.
showing you how to secure the head better onto the doll's body, and it's so freaky. Look, everyone's got their own hobbies. I understand that, but this is like.
Look, if you
Like
ever find
Nana's-
out I'm going to a doll cafe to hang out with friends and lifelike baby dolls, I give you permission to have an intervention at that point.
Okay.
That's crossing a
right.
line I don't want to cross. I
just-
don't even want to
yeah.
approach that line, to be clear.
So I have a couple of Nana's dolls in the crawl space, which seems like an apt place to keep them, but it freaks me out, you know.
None of
They're
them are like
still in
that
their
Chucky
boxes.
doll. That's
No,
oh,
they
remember
all
that
look like
movie?
that doll.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what I think
no.
of. Yeah.
They look Annabelle. They look like that movie Annabelle. You know that movie, the haunted doll. They have the long
No.
hair. That's what's up in my attic right now.
Ugh. Yeah.
You know, Halloween's coming up. Can
Are
we
you
talk
sure?
about something?
Hold on. Are you sure they're still in your attic?
Oh my God, stop it.
The box is empty. Check your
Right.
house.
Right. So Halloween's coming up.
Okay,
and
first, I
Murray,
can't have this conversation until you say the word correctly. It drives me nuts.
Halloween.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Halloween. Sorry.
Halloween. Yes.
Marshmallow. How do you say marsh?
It's
I say
marshmallow.
marshmallow.
Yes, that's
But
fine.
but it's spelled mallow.
Okay,
isn't it?
fine. It's not the same. It's not
Look,
Halloween.
the English language. Oscar asked us how to spell campaign the other day. That is a weird word. I guess
The
it's
English
French.
language is very difficult. All of
It
these,
doesn't make any
everything is an
sense.
exception. No.
So it's okay for me to mispronounce Halloween.
Okay.
I also say catch up. Okay,
Yeah.
we have established I talk weird. Okay,
All right.
creative
You're just mixing
license.
up your vowels. You would be terrible on Wheel of Fortune. You're
Oh.
you get very confused on your vowels.
Ooh.
Okay, so back to Halloween.
Yes. Poor Murray, 6'2", 185, asked to go at 15, asked to go as Spider-Man. We cannot find a Spider-Man costume that will fit him.
They're not
They
on
are-
Amazon. Are they
I'm telling
sold
you.
out or they don't make it?
No. It's the extra large costumes fit someone who's 5'9". All these you have to read the reviews,
No, wait, but are
right?
you going on to adult Spider-Man?
Yes.
Well, why would an
Yes.
adult male max out at 5'9"? That makes no sense.
They don't. The costumes are just so small.
Oh.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying I'm reading the comments and
Yeah.
it's like I ended up having to go 2 sizes bigger. I'm usually a medium. I had to do XL and that was snug. I'm
Wow.
5'9", 160. Like people put in their heights and how much they weigh.
Yeah.
Poor guy can't fit into a Spider-Man
So
costume.
I have
This
a
is
new
like-
idea for him. You ready?
Well, this is equivalent to when he was like 5 and he still wanted to wear the licensed underwear with like all the characters on it, but they didn't make it anymore because he was not wearing the size of underwear for a 5-year-old. He was wearing it for like a 10-year-old because he was so big.
Right.
And they didn't make fun underwear for 10-year-olds.
Right. I think he needs to abandon his Spidey dreams and instead go dressed as Bruce Banner when he's turning into the Hulk. That way he can wear the clothes that are literally tearing off of him because he'll
funny.
embrace his bigness. Right?
Yeah.
I think
He does
that'd
have
be
that,
really
like,
funny.
He has
And
the
look, all
Bruce
you have to do
Banner
is go to
hair
either
from the 80s.
get old clothes he's not wearing, but I would go to like a secondhand store, go to a thrift store, you tear it up. Have you remember the Bruce Banner look? All of his
Yes.
it's like kind of like the clothes that he would have to put back on after he went
Yeah.
from being the Hulk back to his normal person because
Oh, yeah.
he
I know
ripped
what you're
him.
talking about.
That's a great costume. So Abe, he would probably be upset that I mentioned his name on the podcast, but he doesn't listen to the podcast. Abe has an eye infection, and so he can't wear his contacts. At least he can't wear them in the one eye with the infection. So he texted me at midnight last night saying, I've got it. I'm going as a pirate for Halloween so I can at least wear one contact the whole night and a patch over the other eye. I thought that was smart.
That is smart.
Yeah.
Tell me about this infection, because Oscar also got an eye infection.
Okay, PSA for anyone. This is, if anybody is like me and you're like me, because we're sisters and we're a lot alike, I'm at the point now, my kids are 21, 19, and 17. So if they've got something going on, I'm literally texting, I will say a doctor, not necessarily their doctor, for help, right? Like, this is happening. Can you just write in this prescription? Because I feel like I've pretty much seen it all. But he was home for a few days before he headed back to New Orleans post Ida. And the first thing that happened is he had a swollen lymph node. So, of course, I'm like, maybe it's mono. I'm always, I'm like the walking Googler. And he's like, mono? I was like, yeah. And he goes,
Has he been kissing
kissed
a lot of
girl,
girls?
right? And I was like, well, that would be a shame if you got it and you had nothing to show for it. He's like, it's not mono.
Wait,
Yes.
just to stand up for Abe, he has kissed girls before.
Right. No, but
not recently had he kissed a girl to get mono.
It wasn't in like the last week or whatever the incubation period was. Correct.
I feel like I need to.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair
that
enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I didn't mean to possibly insinuate anything.
Insinuating that he has never ever kissed a girl before.
No, he said I'm not currently kissing any girls. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So who do? I text my friend Peter, who's an ENT. Hey, Abe's cut this nose. He goes, it's probably this or this, but if he wants to come over to look at it, and Abe's like, nah, it'll be fine. So then the next day he wakes up at what looks like pink eye, and so of course what do? I call in the eye doctor. I was like, yeah, he's got pink eye. Can you call us in a prescription? They're like, yeah, we can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, how about telemedicine? I'm thinking everybody does telemedicine today, in COVID time. They said, well, send us a picture of it and we'll show it to the doctor and see. So I take a picture of his eye and they go, yeah, he still needs to come in. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So
was there gunk coming out of it?
No, it really wasn't traditional pink eye.
Was it the virus? Was it the pink eye virus versus the bacterial pink eye?
This is what we're talking about. Yeah. It's viral. How do you know this?
That's what Oscar had. Literally, it's what Oscar had. So I think whatever they got in when we were at the bar mitzvah together.
Wait, he got it after the bar mitzvah?
Yes.
Okay, this is crazy. So they did get it together. It's highly contagious. It's called, I'm looking it up right now because Abe sent me a whole screenshot of it. Epidemic keratoconjunctivitis, also known as viral keratoconjunctivitis. So highly contagious viral infection of the eye. Oh my gosh.
But our doctor said it was less contagious than bacterial because it doesn't have that gunk. And that because he was older, he's less likely to spread it. So it might be because it's a virus contagious, but not as likely to spread because of icky toddlers.
Yeah. Well, they got it either from each other or from someone. That is crazy because we haven't talked about this.
Crazy.
So Abe got
weird.
it. The first doctor he went to did not determine it was this keratoconjunctivitis and thought it was an ulcer forming on his eye. So gave him this drop. It was a steroid sort of drop and antibiotic drop. And so he used that for a few days. The red went away, but he said his eye was still killing him and was very sensitive to light. He couldn't drive. He was having a hard time studying. So
this was worse than Oscar's.
So he went back to the doctor. There's
probably
over a
because of
week
the
later.
contacts, I bet.
I think the contacts probably kept that viral in his eye. So now he can't wear contacts. And really, I don't know if your doctor said there's no cure. There's no, you're not even supposed to treat it. But the doctor did, he gave him the same drops he had been doing because his eye was in so much pain. So the doctor said, ironically, the drops are going to make it, it's going to elongate the virus because it's going to take you longer to heal, but you're not going to be in pain while you do it. Because Abe really, his eye was killing him. So now he's taking these drops, even though apparently they don't really, they can't kill the virus, but they're help him not be in pain. And he can't wear contacts for 2 months. 2 months.
Yeah, he said, that's a long time. Wow.
Yeah.
He said, the first thing he said was, do you wear contacts? And Oscar goes, no. And he goes, good. So that's interesting.
So Abe got contacts when he was 7 years old. He hasn't worn his contacts since in 12 years. This is the
Are
longest.
his glasses up to date? I mean, I
They
guess
are
when
not.
he takes his...
And
no.
So they're sort of up to date, but they're not the updated prescription. So they're okay. His eyesight's so bad. His nearsightedness is so strained. He's like -10 in one eye and -7 in another. So anybody who wears glasses understands that.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's never liked his glasses. He wants to get LASIK.
I can tell you that I'm -4 and -4.5, and I can start to see in focus with my hand about a foot away from my face.
Oh, yeah.
And his eyes are more than twice as bad as mine.
I used to always say you're kind of blind like Bubba. Like I thought his eyesight was as bad as Stuart's. Oh no, it's worse. Stuart says my prescription's not even that strong. So.
I feel like I would totally be screwed during the zombie apocalypse. And that's
right.
the only reason why I would get LASIK.
I cannot believe we're just now figuring out they had the same eye infection.
Yeah,
Did they give him any medicine, or they just said it'll go away?
He said there's really nothing you can do for it. Yeah. But he said oddly enough, because I'd put some, Oscar said his eye was also itching, so I had like Visine allergy drops, and I put that in his eye. And the guy said, even though it's not meant for this, it does help a little.
Yeah.
So he's like, so you can do this. And he had something else he recommended. And then just in case, he says, if for some reason this turns into bacterial pink eye, he went ahead and wrote me a prescription.
Oh, because that's why I was like, pink eyes, it's the worst, but it's the best. It's like getting strep throat. Because it's bacterial, there is an antibiotic for it. There's a prescription, and you can cure it. Yeah, the drops Abe has is really just, it's to treat the
pain
symptoms, the pain. It's not to cure the viral, because you can't. But, okay, so all this full circle, Abe sends me a screenshot that he's Googled this viral infection.
The pirate.
And in some people, one of the symptoms is swollen lymph node. So that was the first symptom for him. And so I sent that back to my friend who's the ENT. I said, I just thought you'd want to know. This was, we never saw him, so he never even diagnosed him. But I said, this is what it ended up being. It wasn't even related to, an ENT problem. It was all an eye problem that went to the lymph node, which is crazy. Crazy, and has taught me that I shouldn't be trying to treat my kids just, over the phone or via text. But
it's so sometimes more efficient.
It's so efficient. It's so,
Dr. Mom.
So efficient.
Speaking of Halloween and
Halloween.
Speaking of Halloween and things that our bodies do, I have something scary that's happening to me today.
What?
I'm really scared. So first I want to say that when I was little, and this happened to Stuart too, we ended up with a lot of cavities, right? Like when we were like 8 or 10. This was before they would like put caps on the back of your teeth to keep, like my kids, they all have these fillers that they put in to keep them from getting
and they're tooth
cavities.
Colored. I have all the silvers.
Tooth colored. Yeah, they didn't know. My kids don't have cavities. They like preemptively put in these fillers in your molars to keep you from getting cavities. So I have all these silver fillings, and I just, they have a lifespan, and they have really reached that lifespan. So I went in for a cleaning like a few weeks ago, and they did an x-ray, and they found out one of these teeth is cracked.
Oof.
And it's salvageable. They don't have to replace the tooth. I'm like, no, you're going to drill it down and give me one of those pointy teeth and put another fake tooth over it. And they're like, no, it's good. You don't look, we caught it early. You don't have to get a root canal. You don't have to do this. We just have to replace the filling. But I'm freaking out because my memory of getting anything done is like from when I was 10. So I'm like, oh, I'm really nervous. And they're like, don't worry. We've got something special we can give you that'll help with everything. And I go, do you mean a shot? And they go, yes, that is exactly what they mean. I go, I don't like these pretend terms. I go, I know what's coming at me. And that's what I'm afraid of. And it took me a long time to figure out that they had been giving me shots when I was little, because Stuart had a cavity filled when he was like 24, and he called me up and he said, Amanda, I found out what the dentist means when they say we're going to give you some magic.
Some magic.
And
Doctor, I was just going to say,
yes,
Dr.
that's what
Jackson
they
used to
used to
say,
say.
we're going to give you some magic.
We're going to give you magic. And I go, what's magic? And I'm like 19 at this point. And he goes, it's a shot. And I was like, it is. So I had no idea. I mean, like a little too old to be figuring this stuff out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so magic is a shot. And
Magic
I'm
is
also
a
like,
shot.
I need some laughing gas. I don't even know if my doctor offers that, but I will give them $1,000 to give me some gas. Give me the gas.
Yeah.
Does your dentist do gas?
No, we don't
I
do
don't even
gas. And
know.
I will tell you, the last time I got a cavity filled, I was in my 20s. That's the last cavity I had. And I was so afraid of the shot, because by then I did know magic was the shot. I said, no shot. They said, what do you mean? I said, I am petrified of the shot. Just go ahead and do the cavity. They go, well, you're going to feel the drill. And I said, I'm fine with that. Yes.
No.
So I endured that, which was probably really stupid. But I will say, I've had a cracked tooth. And first they didn't know the tooth was cracked. And I had a root canal. Then they figured out the tooth was cracked. Then I had to have the tooth removed. Then I had an implant put in. And now I have a fake tooth. Do not go through that. I will tell you, whatever shot or magic they give you is a bazillion times better than getting an implant or a fake tooth. And here's what advice my current dentist gave me, because when he had to give me a shot for something, I was like, I literally, I was probably 23 years old. I can picture like the needle coming towards my mouth. And just the idea of that,
Don't
right,
look.
gave me such anxiety, which I don't have anxieties for any other shot. I can watch them take blood from my arm. I can get vaccinations. All those shots don't bother me at all. It's just the mouth shot. And as I watched it coming in, I started to
Cry?
start. No, I didn't cry. I started to like, unknowingly start sliding in my chair. And all of a sudden I started to pass out, and I could feel, and they're like, okay, get her some orange juice. My current dentist, I'm telling him this story. I go, I can't. And he goes, why didn't you just close your eyes? And then you don't have to see it happening. I go, yeah, nobody ever suggested that, but that would seem practical, that I'll just open my mouth and you do what you got to do. So I recommend you get the shot if it can fix the tooth. Close your eyes so you don't see it coming, and just tell him to say, here comes the magic. And I think it'll work. I think even though we were tricked as children by our pediatrician, she had good intentions.
A dentist. Pediatric dentist.
Pediatric dentist, I should say. It worked, and I think just hearing the word magic will make you feel better.
No, it doesn't.
That is so
They
funny.
used to numb it also. They had a topical numbing agent that they would put on your mouth too before they did magic, and it tastes like artificial bananas, like Laffy Taffy.
Oh, gross.
The joke was on me.
Yeah.
The joke was on me.
Yeah. That is hysterical. Oh my gosh. Well, good luck with that.
Oh yeah.
I hope they can salvage the
I'm
tooth.
I'm already like I almost started crying when you did that fake
No, don't cry.
needle. I mean,
It is. People have and I'm sure they've even gotten more advanced today, but I know people with serious phobias of the dentist. And so there have been several dental practices, I think, in our area that have created, when you said, I've got a surprise for you, I think, some of these have virtual reality. They have things where you can go and you can wear a headset, like things that are totally distracting the mind while they're working on the mouth, because I'm not making fun. It's a serious phobia. I feel it, right? I'm not afraid of any other shot except the mouth shot. There is something about somebody working on your teeth or your mouth. When you have a toothache, it affects your entire being.
yeah.
So I get it. And the drilling, even that sound.
Stop!
Oh.
You stop! You're making it worse. I can't even do the scraping with the tartar. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. Good luck.
And I have to tell you, the hygienist that I had, she was new. She was like the roaming hygienist.com. No, I've just made that up. She was like a traveling, like when they're short on hygienists,
Right.
she's like a freelance hygienist.
Oh.
She's very nice. The most aggressive teeth cleaning I've ever had in my entire life. My teeth hurt for like 3 weeks. And she kept on saying to me, you look so familiar. I know I've seen you before. Have I seen you in something? And I'm like,
you get
no.
that a lot. You get that a lot. Yeah.
I do. And then finally I go, is it possible that I might look like someone that you know? She said, yeah. I go, is it possible that I might look like a celebrity? And she's like, yes. And I said,
she says Tracy.
I go, is it Tracy Ellis Ross? And she goes, that is it. That is who you look like. That's been killing me. I go, yep, I get it. Like a few times a month, strangers come up to me and say it.
Hair. It's the hair.
And it's my eyes. I have her expressions too. I wish I had her wardrobe. That is a great wardrobe.
And her mom. Oh no, we like our mom.
We do. Our mom is equivalent to Diana Ross.
It is. That's also freaky. That's freaky because I used to think mommy's hair looked like Diana Ross's hair.
When she used to wear it down.
When she used to wear it down. Totally.
Yeah,
totally.
It did before she beat it into submission.
There you go.
Well, thanks for listening to the latest episode of Sis and Tell podcast. Don't forget to share us with your friends, share us with your family, share us with your foes.
As always, this has been Amanda and Allison with a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. We'll catch you next time.